slashed my tires.
Well, he knows this is your car. You.
Some douchebag in a costume acting like a retard because it's Halloween.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Cinematic Central. My name is Chris, and it is Terrifier week. So as part of my first annual Cine-Slash-a-thon, I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on all three Terrifier films all throughout the week, leading up to the release of Terrifier 3 coming out on Friday, which I'm going to be checking out Friday night. And so expect a review for that at some point Friday night or Saturday. Kick it off today with the original Terrifier, which came out back in 2016. I'm going to call this a trilogy, even though I already know that Terrifier 4 is in the works. I know that there was All Hallows Eve where Art made his debut, but that was just a segment in a horror anthology film, which I have not seen yet. And so, but I know that was a different actor that played Art the Clown. This is where David Howard Thornton made his film debut, debut as Art the Clown. With Terrifier, it's set on Halloween night. You have these two friends, Tara and Dawn, who are coming back from a party, and they decide to. Instead of driving, they decide to eat a little bit. So they go into this pizza parlor where they run into Art, and this pretty much sets in motion the chain of events that will unfold on this night, on Halloween night. And so basically, these girls find themselves in a fight for survival against Art. Unfortunately, oh, by the way, also this will have some spoilers in it. So if you have not seen this, go check it out if you're into this sort of thing, and come on back here. But yeah, you have these two girls who basically are fighting off Art. Again, Dawn, I believe Dawn is the one who winds up dead, and in which Art gives us that classic, that signature kill in this movie, and so which involves her being hung upside down and pretty much getting sawed in half, and she's naked. She's completely naked, and she gets sawed in half, and it's gruesome. And so now it's up to Tara. She's in a fight for survival, and then her sister, who she had called early on after they discovered they had a flat tire, which is why they're stranded there at this warehouse, is on her way, and unfortunately Tara winds up dead, winds up biting it as well. So now basically it's her sister having to fight off Art in this warehouse. I remember seeing this back like in 2018, 2019, before Terrifier 2 was announced. I think it was announced like in 2020 or so, Terrifier 2. And so when you watch, I watched it and I thought it was solid. It creeped the fuck out of me. I thought Art the Clown was just badass. He's gruesome. He's a creepy dude. And so then I saw Terrifier 2, and I found it to be a much improvement over the original. I'll get to that. Get to why. And I really enjoyed it. So I'm really looking forward to Terrifier 3. But as far as the original goes, the things I like about it, primarily honestly, it's Art the Clown. It's David Howard Thornton's performance. I thought he was great. There's definitely a lot of he is very psychotic, but he's also funny. There are several moments in this movie that I just kind of laughed. His little mannerisms, the fact that he can't talk, he doesn't talk. Excuse me, he doesn't talk, and just how he's able to convey his emotions and how he is without even saying a word, and how his little hand gestures and shit and his little facial expressions just cracked me the fuck up. The entire pizza parlor scene with him and Dawn and Tara, and primarily with Dawn, she gets up there next to him and takes a selfie with him, and that's pretty funny, which is hilarious because that kind of comes into play later on after she is killed, and so that's pretty funny. What it does offer us is that carnage candy. If you're a big fan of carnage candy and gore, there is gore aplenty in this movie. I mean, it's blood, 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 and more blood. You know, and so and also the soundtrack. I dig the soundtrack. I dig that grungy kind of sound, which kind of matches the overall look of the movie, which is kind of dirty, kind of gritty, kind of grungy, you know. And so I really like that. And that's pretty much where the positives are. The negatives, on the negative side of things, you just don't care about the characters all that much. You really don't. There's no real solid story here other than the fact that it's just people, you know, these two girls and a few other people that you see for a few minutes, not very long, and then they end up dead. I mean, it's just, from a character perspective, you don't really care whether they live or die. You know, when a character dies, you want to have that kind of have an emotional punch to it, and here you just don't have that because there's no characters that are developed in any way. You know, and that's probably where its downfall is when it comes to its running time. This movie only runs about an hour and 22 minutes, which, at one point, that's a negative there. But on the positive side, because there is no real story, this movie goes pretty fast, and so yeah, I mean, you just don't care about the characters, plain and simple. And as far as the story goes, there's no real story here. You know, you just have, you know, the psychotic clown terrorizing these people on Halloween, and it's pretty simple. It's a pretty simple premise. And there's nothing, you know, convoluted or complicated about it. When it comes to the only thing this movie offers is just the gore and the carnage candy, and if that's all you're there for, then you're gonna be happy. You're gonna enjoy this movie. For me, though, I'm a character. I'm a story guy. You know, I want to have some characters that I actually care about. I want to have a story that's interesting enough to go with that. And so, which is, I'm glad we got that in Terrifier 2, especially with better characters with you know, Lauren Lavera as Sienna. You know, you really care about that character. How her character is pretty well developed. That we care about her surviving against Art. And so, but yeah, here you just don't get that. And so, but as far as, you know, I think what Damien Leone, you know, who's the creator of this franchise. I think he accomplished what he wanted to accomplish. You know, there's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of blood. There's just a lot of Art is just as psychotic as he always has been, and so yeah, it's a gory, stomach churning, good time, you know, for the gore hounds out there. So, but yeah, I think Terrifier, it's a solid movie. You know, it's one that I enjoy watching at least once a year. You know, around Halloween, every Halloween. So, but yeah, but I like the fact that it's set on Halloween, the first one and the second one. But I'm even more excited for Terrifier 3 because it's set during Christmas time, and I love a good Christmas horror movie. And if you can put, you know, Art the Clown in a Christmas movie, or put Michael Myers in a Christmas movie, or Ghostface, or any slasher in a Christmas movie, I'm gonna be happy. So yeah, but 2016's our Terrifier. I enjoy it. It's solid. You know, it's a decent, good time. Bloody, you know, just gore-tastic. I'm gonna give it a 6.5 out of 10, just because of the lack of story and the lack of character development. Even though the gore kind of makes up for it when it comes to that whole thing, but I just like a solid story. I like some decent characters that you actually care about to go with it. That's just my thoughts on Terrifier. Don't forget to stay tuned for my review for Terrifier 2 coming up in the next couple of days. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below. What do you think about Terrifier? What is your favorite movie in the Terrifier franchise? Are you looking forward to Terrifier 3? Let me know in the comments down below. I love you guys. You guys are the best, and I will see you next time.